Today on the table, we have the potential bootleg Bandai, or maybe an official Bandai, Godzilla Amphibia, and a potential, either it's a bootleg, or potential official Godzilla Terrestris. Both from Godzilla Singular Point. Anyways, let's get to the review now. We will first take a look at Godzilla Amphibia. So, the reason that I think this is a bootleg is one, the paint is very messy. You can see the silver is bleeding onto the body, same with the peach, all that. And same with over here and over there, which makes me say it may be a bootleg. The other reason is articulation. So, before that, let's look at this. Screen accuracy. Put probably a model right above it to show you what Amphibia looks like from the series. And it looks like a mix of Godzilla and Veron, which, if you don't know who that is, he's from a very, very old film. He's actually not even a Godzilla kaiju. But if you look him up, you can see the similarities. Anyways, if you don't know what Godzilla Godzilla Amphibia is, he is the second form of Godzilla Ultima. His first form is this here, Aquatilus, which, from what people say, looks like a mix of Titanosaurus, which you can see. I'll put Titanosaurus' model above, and then I'll put a Godzilla model right there, probably. And then, if you combine the two, what you get is this, Aquatilus, which is Ultima's first form. Which, if you look, it definitely has some things from Titanosaurus. And if you look, you can see how these carry over into Aquatilus, like how these fins evolve into these flippers. And you can see how this tail becomes this here. Anyways, Amphibia here is second form of Ultima, the god of destruction, you could call him. And it's pretty accurate to the model, I'll say. So, he doesn't have articulation. Other videos show he has articulation as front feet. From what it looks like here, they were super glued for this. This is the only articulation he has at all. A torso swivel. That's it. Anyways, after he decapitates Amanda, Aquatilus evolves into this. But then, for some reason, Amphibia decides, okay, I'm going to evolve again. How? By warping land around him and killing anything with some sort of fire blast like Shin, and evolves from Amphibia into Terrestris, which looks a bit more like Godzilla. Anyways, what makes me say it's a bootleg is paint comes off easily. Same things as Amphibia here, which is paint rubbing off at random spots. You can especially see it from the top. But what makes me say it may not be a bootleg is the articulation. And for some reason, people say this is a mix of Godzilla and Gorosaurus. If you don't know who Gorosaurus is, well, there should be a picture right there of what he looks like. Right there. Anyways, Gorosaurus, I guess I can kind of see it. But you can also kind of see how the dorsal plates are becoming more and more apparent. How they go from this to this to that. Anyways, let's put these guys back up there. So Terrestris here, Godzilla Terrestris, has a lot more articulation points than Amphibia or Aquatilus. He has a tail swivel. He can kick that far forward. Actually, he can do a full 360. And this is for both legs. And his arms can swivel a full 360. And that's about it, but still, it's pretty good for a Bandai figure, even if it is a bootleg. And if you don't know what bootleg is, it's basically a fake or a fraud of someone making a figure to try and make money off of the same mold. It does look good though, I will give it that. Let's move on to size comparisons. But before that, I will give a few quick words on these bootlegs. Because I'm pretty sure they are bootlegs. For bootlegs, these figures did pretty good job at capturing the official Bandai. The official Bandai figures. I'll probably put the official photos right above them. But yeah, they did a definite good job at recreating those figures. Anyways, let's do some size comparisons real quickly, shall we? So here we go. Godzilla Aquatilus next to Godzilla Amphibia and Terrestris. Okay. Here's a little mini submarine as well. It came with the Playmates Tiamat. With submarine. But here it is next to Godzilla Amphibia and Terrestris. Here's the Bandai Godzilla Singular Point and Gearus next to the bootleg Godzilla Terrestris and Godzilla Amphibia. Here is the Bandai Salangla next to the bootleg Godzilla Amphibia and Terrestris. But if this does happen to be the official Bandai Godzilla Amphibia and Terrestris, you guys need to fix your jobs, like seriously. Anyways, back to size comparisons. Next figure. Here is the Showa 1972 Godzilla next to Godzilla Terrestris and Godzilla Amphibia, the potential bootlegs. Here we have the Bandai Jet Jaguar prototype next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Terrestris and Godzilla Amphibia. Here we have the Godzilla Singular Point Rodan First Form Plush next to the potential Bandai bootleg Godzilla Singular Point, Godzilla Terrestris, and Godzilla Amphibia. Here we have the Godzilla Singular Point Manda by Bandai next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Singular Point, Godzilla Terrestris, and Godzilla Amphibia. Next we have the Godzilla Singular Point Mei Kamino by Nendoroid next to the potential bootleg Godzilla Singular Point, Godzilla Terrestris, and Godzilla Amphibia. Okay. Here we have the Godzilla Singular Point Pelops 2 Nendoroid next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Singular Point, Terrestris, and Amphibia. Here we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla -1 Goji. And here he is next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Terrestris and Godzilla Amphibia from Godzilla Singular Point. Then we have the SH Monster Arts Godzilla Evolved from Godzilla X Kong New Empire next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Terrestris and Godzilla Amphibia from Godzilla Singular Point. And finally, we have the Godzilla Singular Point SH Monster Arts Rodan Second Form next to the potential bootleg Bandai Godzilla Singular Point, Godzilla Terrestris, and Godzilla Amphibia. I already said it, whatever. Anyways, time for me to put down my final verdict. So would I recommend these two? I don't know, really. Because these aren't the official ones, but nor Are they? I don't know really. Something tells me they are the official ones, but just redone. So, if you do find these on eBay or Amazon, I would say you should get them because I got them for a pretty cheap option. Instead of like being for 20, 30 bucks, it was like 10, 15. And it was a double pack, so I got them together. So yeah, I would say it's worth the money. I would say probably a 7, 7.5 out of 10 for pricing. Screen accuracy. They're both screen accurate in their own ways, so 5 out of 10? I don't know, this one's very confusing. Paint and detail. It's all messy, but some parts are definitely better to look at than others, so 6 out of 10. Articulation. Terrestris here has a good amount of articulation. Better, I'm pretty sure, than the original. So I will probably put this guy at a solid 8.5 out of 10. Amphibia. How many times can this rotate? And that's your answer for my, so yeah, 1 out of 10. Because at least it isn't a glorified brick. Glorified paperweight. So yeah, that's about it. So either my next review will be, hopefully, my hero video, or the Nendoroid Yun Arikawa. So I will see you in either Izuku Midoriya's review or Yun Arikawa's review. See you then, and until then, like, subscribe, and comment if you want, and peace out. See you later, alligator. Bye-bye.